You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us studs. I'm Blaze.
I'm Meech.
1 year of Two Studs in a Pod is what we're getting into this week, so let's get into it. Homie, drop the beat. It's our anniversary, bitches!
Woo-hoo.
So this week, we're celebrating and appreciating how far these two studs have come. But before we start pouring it up, Meech, what's good?
And everything is good right now. Just living life, working on some things, new year. I have to start some new projects. Started working out again. I had let the Peloton go for a little bit. But I had a good workout this morning, so that was fun. That's about it, really. Trying to stay warm with this snowstorm going on. It's crazy. I'm tired of snow. I'm tired of the cold. I need a vacation. I need to go somewhere. I need to travel. I'm tired of COVID. But can't really complain because I have life and I haven't gotten sick. Thank God, knock on wood. My family's been safe, so just trying to figure out what the plan is for 2021. What you been up to?
Working. Started my workout regimen, so I've been going at that full tilt as much as possible, and just trying to get that part of my life back on track because last year with the COVID situation really kind of threw me off and out of my routine. So trying to get back into that, and trying to work my way up in my job. Like they keep you on like a probationary thing for such a long time. Like you're not temp, but they're like checking to make sure that you know what you're doing for a while. And that it's a safety net, but I just, I'm the type of person like, especially I've been doing this for so long and I'm just like, let's see what happens. If I can ask questions, then I'm good to go. So that's that. And just been doing things around the house, like put up more ceiling fans. We only got 2 more to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we had to put up. We had the house built, and when we had the house built, it was they wanted to charge so much for each fan, and then so much to put them in. On top of that, and I was like, hell no, I'm not paying for that shit. So we ended up getting deals on fans, and I'm putting them up myself. And I put up like the lights in front of the house. Like I'm telling you, man, with YouTube and just a little bit of tools, you can do anything. So yeah, I've been accomplishing knocking off things on our to-do list around the house. There's, of course, every time we knock something off, something else replaces it. So it's never ending. But it's our investment, so it makes sense. We're upgrading it for ourselves. It's not like we're just doing it. So and, it's worth it to me. and that's what I'm working for every day while I'm sitting in my office and hitting them numbers like I'm supposed to. So anyway, let's move on down the line here.
Say what?
And you know what that sound means? With so much craziness in the news these days, it's hard to be surprised. So when we are, it's something we must share. These are the stories that made us say what? Some of the weirdest or craziest things we've read or heard from the news and around. Meech, you got something that made you say what this week?
Man, I have something that made me say what? Say what the fuck? This shit was so crazy, man. There was a story on the news about these 2 dudes in Harlem who attacked a woman. So the story is she went into the liquor store after work. It's like, evening time, 6 o'clock. Goes in there to buy a bottle, and then she's on her way home. And, the dude was like, yo, let me buy you a bottle, or let me pay for it. And she's like, no, I'm good. I got it. And I guess they didn't like her reaction, or they couldn't take the rejection. So they followed her outside, bro. And the dude bit her face
Mm.
like a dog. Like she just because she rejected him. So that shit that had me tight. Like who does that? You know what I mean? That sounds like some Florida shit. You know what I mean? In people's faces. Like this is what the hell is happening in Harlem too? Like it was two dudes. They ended up like um one of the dudes bit her face, like her eyes like closed shut, like she can't open it, like they broke the skin, and then they robbed her and they beat her up.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, that shit is crazy. I was like, what? Like what
Yeah.
is the world coming to where shit like this could happen? I hope the streets find them before the cops do, because I heard they're in hiding in like the whole of Harlem.
They better be.
Yeah,
Yeah, trust me. You know New York like I know New York. You better they better be. Um, Ironically, my the story that I have that made me say what was in connection to that. I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and
mm-hmm.
they had a segment where they were talking about that situation,
Mm-hmm.
and a stud actually called in and talked about being robbed by two dudes,
Oh damn.
and they like she said she that's why it was like extra crazy to me, right? Because you would think not that anybody deserves it, but you know, a more feminine looking woman is going to be more vulnerable to an attack like that,
Yeah.
right? So you really wouldn't think like a stud. So when she said she was a stud, that's what really like took me aback, because I just never. Yes, of course, I think we could get robbed, but for a dude to attack us in that kind of way, where you know, like
Mm-hmm.
she said that they jumped in. It's like she went, got money, had the money in her hand, got into her car, and as she gets into the car, the dude like punches her, goes for the money, bites her in her face, and takes a chunk out.
Damn, for real?
Yes,
I wonder if
takes a
it's
chunk out.
news.
No, this I don't think this was in New York. I don't think this was in New York. I don't know where it was, but and she said the other dude, like she tried to take off. She was trying to take off in the car and she couldn't. Then the other dude came and punched her in the other side of the face. And
What?
she said they did all of this to her for $40, bruh.
What?
Yes. Yes.
No, what
Exactly.
coming to, man?
I'm like, that's crazy. And you know, it makes you double check your surroundings
Yeah.
already, which you know, sometimes I feel like maybe I do it a little bit too much, but
Yeah,
you can't, right?
yeah.
Is there ever too much when there's this kind of crazy shit going on in the world, right? All right. Well, now that we got that out there
Hmm.
and definitely say what a couple times, let's get into what we've got cooking this week in stewed peas. A little over a year ago, we realized just how much masculine representation for black and brown lesbians was lacking. We thought long and hard about how we could contribute to making us more visible. We contemplated on what would be the most effective way to not only be entertaining, but informative as well. And Two Studs and a Pod was born. This has definitely been a labor of love. We built up the anticipation on the gram, then bam, 2/2/2020. We went live with our debut episode, which is still available for your listening pleasure wherever you listen to podcasts. And after a year of laughs, gasps, and more, we're ready to celebrate the anniversary of the release of our debut episode. So kick back, sit back, and enjoy the vibe as we reminisce over where we were a year ago and where we've grown to today. So, do you remember how like nervous we were
Hell yeah.
when we were about to release that first episode? Like, I can't believe it's been a year, first of all. And actually, before we even begin, let's thank everybody who listens to us and been listening to us for like a
Appreciate
year.
y'all.
That's crazy.
Shout out to
Mind
our
blowing.
friends and our newcomers.
Yes, shouts to all the peeps and near and far
Mhm.
and from all around and all shades of brown. We appreciate y'all showing up, because we there would be no year anniversary without you guys. So definitely appreciate you. But like, do you remember how nervous we were?
I definitely do. I remember like us, recording and then not being sure about the recording and then editing and all that stuff. It was just nerve wracking because it's it's 2020, so everybody's so judgmental.
Right, right,
Are people gonna understand us, get our comedy,
right,
get
right.
us and the way we talk, and we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want. So it was, I don't know, it was just nerve wracking for me. But at the end of the day, like now it's just I just got to be myself.
right, because exactly, it's all that, but just us being like our authentic
Yeah,
self. Like we can't help. This is us. The
right.
craziness,
Some
the
people
shit y'all get, the shit y'all don't get, like all all of that shit.
it's funny too. We'll have to do an episode for y'all of that. Yeah, yeah. I remember the nerves, and it was good though because we started something and we're still going. So
And not even knowing how to do it, just like coming up with the concept of like, because we like planned it out, like like we really put some effort into trying to figure out how to do a podcast because we knew so many people. Or at least I did. I knew a lot of people who were thinking about doing a podcast and were interested in doing podcasts, and that's I think right when we started brewing 2005 was like podcasts were really starting to pop off.
yeah,
Like and and then Corona took over.
and that
But
kind of killed a lot of podcasts. So I think we had the one up on a couple of them because we're both in different states anyway. So we had to figure out how
right.
to record and get a decent sounding recording from two different places.
Right, and that was the thing about like especially that first episode was that first episode, at least the first couple of episodes, maybe even was a lot of our learning curve as to how to even do this because we never did anything like this before, and then to be putting our personal stories and information out there. I mean, I know we don't really show our faces like that, and we don't use our government paycheck names. You know what I'm saying? But we every the stories are true, like everything from the heart is true and that's real, you know what I'm saying? Like we have our real like wives on
Right.
on here and are still telling the same shit, so I can't be lying. Yes,
Yeah,
life has been crazy.
yes.
And
And
oh, go ahead, my bad.
no, I was gonna say I think I think initially we were a little nervous of how much of the truth to let out, but I mean,
I think some of that has to do with not knowing how much people would relate to. Like we wanted to be relatable and be entertaining at the same time, so that people would listen. And that could, we were concerned about that, and I think we still remain concerned about that because we want people to enjoy the show and we want the show to grow, right? And we want people to learn things as we learn things, even. So that's why I hope to, season 3 when we start.
it's growing.
Yeah, start applying different things that we've learned from season 2 and going like that. I can't believe we even have like season 2. Like it's crazy. A year, yo. It's like your anniversary. You got to make sure you put the horns in right here. Yes. Yeah, man. I'm proud of us too because we stuck with it. A lot of people
Yeah,
started podcasts when we started podcasts.
yeah, and they didn't make it.
And they're not still going. You know what I'm saying? Like a year later. So
Not work, especially if
yeah,
you care about like your craft, which I'm sure everybody does. But if if they haven't made it, it's because they know it's a lot of work. And with working and family and all the shit that's going on.
I think more than work is a commitment
Yeah,
because um we committed to do this together and we always make sure that we make the time even if we push it to the fucking limit, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying, to do shit, to do what we got to do to produce the show, you know what I'm saying, and coming up with different ideas and topics and shit like that just to try to stay entertaining. And it's not easy, so I can understand how people haven't, people had to let it go.
yeah. Yeah, because it's not just a podcast either, though. We want to interact with our fans on social
Right,
media,
right,
and but then we also have our own personal social medias that we want to interact with our friends and family too. So
right. Yeah, because we have our lives that help give us the
right,
content we need for the show.
content, right?
Yeah.
We gotta live so y'all can have something to entertain y'all.
Yes. I think that's what made the season 2 this season currently a little rougher because we weren't able to live, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like a lot of our show is based off of our experiences in life and
mhm.
living. And this year, or at least last year, really prevented us from from doing that in so many ways. Not just COVID, but obviously the main reason is COVID. But actually, I think the only reason is COVID. Like
Yeah, I was
fucking
like, I was
COVID.
trying to think, like, what
I
else
was
did
thinking
they
like
go through?
I was trying to think about like the election shit. Well, like, fuck that. Like that didn't stop me from doing shit. It's all about COVID.
Yeah, COVID kept us in. You know, we were partiers. If
Yeah.
not, a lot. We at least go out at least once a week or once a month. Have some entertaining shit to talk about. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Or just do
Just life.
do
Just being
things.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Shit, even going to lunch places.
Right. That's what I'm
That could
saying.
be entertaining.
Shit, when you went to where was it, Lowe's or wherever, and they asked you what your pronouns were, like that was the most exciting. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
oh yes. Oh, when I went to get my
experience.
damn when I
Oh
went
yeah,
to get my truck. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's what I need to go do again now. Now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that's the most exciting thing that's happened.
no, 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 not too many prize, anything like that. So
Yeah, I'm like, did we even get to make it to a pride?
virtual.
Virtual.
I know that was
Yeah,
one.
man. A
Yeah,
year ago,
I'm proud
I
of
think
us.
it makes yeah, and I think if you listen back to that first episode, that first season,
Mhm.
even compared to now, it's you know, there's definitely some growth,
Mhm.
and we're still growing. Man, I just blew my mind that this is our 1 year anniversary. Like I remember all the nerves and butterflies and shit about releasing. Like, should we release this day? Should we not
Yeah,
release this day? Like maybe we'll hold off a little bit. But then like,
yeah,
you just gotta say fuck it sometimes and just do it. And we did, and here we are. It was just like either people gonna listen to it or they're not. So
right. They're gonna like this or they're not.
yeah, and I think that's like just good advice for everybody. Like sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and just do it. Like either
And
it's gonna work or it's not, and
right,
you're
and then
gonna find out too.
you learn along the way.
Yeah.
Some things work, some things don't. But if
Yes.
you don't do it, you're not gonna.
How do you know? Yeah. That's the thing about like when you have regrets about shit. The part you never know what could have
Mhm.
happened if this then that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just say fuck it. Just do it. Like Nike says. Because sometimes it works. And if it doesn't, then you know what doesn't work.
Right.
So now I sound like all the motivational posters I've been reading to put on my
To add to the wall.
yeah, to
Yeah.
put on my wall. Yeah, man. But I don't know. I'm proud of us. This might be a short episode because how many more times can we say how proud of us we are for
I know. Well, maybe we could recap some of our favorite episodes from the last year a little bit.
obviously I always enjoy when we have the girls on and we do one of those like
Oh,
which we haven't done this season yet, but that's because people were having alcohol restrictions.
yeah.
So
Liddy.
like we didn't do a never have I ever, but I do like the wild episodes where we
Yeah,
do
wild peas are cool. Actually,
yeah.
I do miss the Never Have I Ever's because that was a learning experience. Because my relationship was new, so the Never
That's
Have
how
I
you find out.
Ever's.
Find
Yeah.
out everything was a setup. Y'all ain't even
Yep.
know. I'm joking. I'm joking. That's how now. Now that's a tip for you young bucks out there. You want to find out some shit.
Shit. Yep.
Like, like never have I ever. And then every question you ever wanted to ask, make it one of them. And there you go. You wanted to find out if they ever let somebody stick a toe in their butt? Make, make that a question. Yeah, man. Uh, yeah, that never have I ever series was good. And we got to play with your homegirl, which we need to have her on to play again.
Oh yeah.
We should make it a group
Yeah, we should
never
add,
have I ever.
uh, add some people to it.
Hell yeah. We need more people who have done the shit.
Yeah, done crazy shit to get them
Yeah.
drunk. You know what? Well, one of our earlier episodes was shit, the X Games, when we were talking about exes, because that was
Oh
new too.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like I was a
Yeah.
year into my relationship, and
And you talking
I
about
talk
exes,
about exes, so that
and I had my wife right next to
right.
me. That's right. And we were talking about exes and shit. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little like I don't know how I felt about that. I mean, I guess I really didn't give a fuck because I'm like,
Shit happens. Shit, it's in the
yeah, it's like
past.
this is my past. Okay, I used to live. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, what can I say? I was young and wild, and you know
Free.
exactly. And I was just living my life, trying to survive. I did enjoy. I don't know some of the episodes where we talked about like the Pride episode
Mm-hmm.
when it was Pride Month, since we couldn't actually go to
Yeah.
Pride.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, good one. And when we were trying to be informative, talking about money and all that good shit.
Oh yeah.
'Cause remember,
Hopefully, some people learn some things.
yeah, and we're able to get some use out of it. Yeah, I look at some of the episodes and I think about just laughing over, just laughing.
I don't know. I think we're funny. I hope that the listeners do too.
Hopefully, 2021 will be more friendly to us as far as
Mm-hmm.
prides go and shit. Get COVID gone, hit a pride or two, and
Or 3 or 4 to make up for it.
yeah, oh yeah. But cheers, homie.
Cheers.
We fucking, we
Clink,
fucking
clink,
did
clink,
it.
clink.
Yep, we're doing it. What are we drinking? Some Dom P, some Douce. I go with the Douce.
I'm a, yeah.
Douce. So cheers to us. Cheers to our peeps. Cheers to you, peeps. Cheers to us. And let's go. I can't wait till we're doing our 2-year anniversary
Yeah.
of our debut episode. What a day. 2/2/2020. All right. Well, now, let's get into Wild Peas, or the part of our show where we share and answer some of the most wild questions we've seen on the internet. This week's question is
Are couples who fight often stronger than couples who do not?
I mean, if you're fighting often, are you really that strong?
Physically.
I mean, I guess that would depend on what kind of fighting we're talking about, but I mean,
Right.
I think if you're fighting all the time, then what's the point of being together? Like, you're supposed to be happy. You can't be happy if you're fighting somebody all the time. How you like? Am I crazy? Like that sounds crazy to me.
It does. And the person put they think that couples who fight often are stronger because they go through more stuff. But like what? I mean, I don't think we have to go through shit and fight to
Right.
become
I mean,
stronger.
I don't know that that's how love works.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it sounds toxic to me.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Why can't we just talk it out if we have differences or we
Like grown
disagree?
ups. Right.
Yeah, like grown ups. Oh
I'm just
boy.
saying. I don't know.
Yeah. For those who
Maybe
think
it's
that.
maybe it's this old age creeping up on me, but I'm just saying. I don't know. It doesn't have to be like that. Like I can see where I was in relationships before where I thought they were great, and we were always at each other's throat all the time, and
Mhm.
they weren't great, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I've been in relationships too where we fought a lot and it was toxic, but the relationship was exciting, I would say. It wasn't, I knew it wasn't ever going to be long term, but break up to make up, you know them songs? or you're
Yeah,
just
for
one of
real.
the crazy Latinos that I date. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
you
don't
do
know,
date some crazy,
but yeah, at
but
this point,
yeah,
at this point, I don't think that that's better than not fighting.
and it's crazy how when that's what's been your experience, sometimes that's what you get used to, and you think like when you get into a new situation and that's not how it's going, you're like something's wrong here
Right?
because we're not
Yeah.
like constantly, yeah. But you know, when you find somebody who's grown, then it, it tends to work out a lot better, or at least somebody who's on your level. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, we're going to end the show here. If you're not already, go follow Two Studs in a Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Want to see our stud life behind the scenes? Follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech. And myself at it's.me.blaze on IG, it's me blaze 2 on Twitter. If email is more your thing, shoot us an email at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. www.twostudsinapod.com is the place to find everything stud, including our latest episodes, blogs, and more. Listening on the move? Catch a new episode of Two Studs in a Pod every Tuesday on streaming platforms everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And gratitude is always the attitude. So we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Howdy do.
There you go.